Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know how sometimes you find yourself thinking, I'm kind of good at this. Like I could write the book on it. Well, today's deep dive is right up your alley. We're going to be uncovering the secrets to turning those everyday experiences, those little life hacks you've mastered, into profitable ebooks.
Sounds intriguing.
Right. And the best part is you don't need to be a publishing pro to make it happen.
I love that.
We're digging into this awesome YouTube video transcript that breaks down the process of creating and selling ebooks, even if you're starting from scratch. No prior experience needed. And get this, the source emphasizes that you don't even need to be a certified expert to help someone out. What do you think about that?
I think it's a really empowering message because so often people downplay their own knowledge and expertise, like, oh, it's just something I do, but they don't realize that their experiences, their solutions could be incredibly valuable to someone else.
It's so true. We all have those things, right? Like that thing you're the go-to person for, the advice people always come to you for.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes someone else pointing it out to realize, hey, I actually do have something special to offer.
Absolutely. And the source really highlights that you don't need to be a guru. You just need to help someone bridge that gap from problem to solution.
And speaking of problems and solutions, they have this really cool concept in the video called comment fishing. Have you ever heard of that?
I have, yeah. It's such a smart strategy. Basically, it's about going online and looking for real questions and problems that people are already trying to solve. It's like free market research, but even better because you're getting insights directly from your target audience.
I love that. So instead of just assuming you know what people need, you're going straight to the source and tapping into their pain points, their frustrations. Like they literally give you the ebook topic.
Exactly. The source suggests looking at places like online forums, Q&A websites, even the comments section of relevant social media posts. Think about it. People go online to search for answers to their problems all the time.
All the time.
So why not tap into that goldmine of information? It's like they're handing you a roadmap for what your ebook should address. Let's say you're amazing at keeping your houseplants alive. A skill I definitely haven't mastered.
You and me both. My thumbs are definitely not green.
Right. So maybe you do a quick search on a gardening forum for houseplant care and boom, you see people constantly complaining about their peace lilies dying or their succulents wilting. And that's your golden ticket. You've just identified a common problem, a pain point that your ebook can directly help solve.
And what I love about that is the specificity of it. Because instead of just writing a general ebook about houseplants, you can now target those struggling peace lily owners, those frustrated succulent parents. You're speaking directly to their needs, which makes your ebook way more valuable.
Exactly. And the source actually uses a great example of this, someone who created a successful ebook about get this regrowing hair naturally.
Okay, at first glance, that might sound kind of niche, but
when you think about how many people struggle with hair loss, it suddenly becomes a huge market.
it does. And it proves that you never know how many people out there share the same problems, the same interests. What might seem like a personal quirk or a niche skill could actually be something that resonates with thousands, even millions of people online.
It's so true. And it all starts with that simple act of observation, of paying attention to the questions and struggles that people are already vocalizing.
I'm already thinking about what kind of ebook I could create. I bet you've got some secret skills up your sleeve too, don't you? While we're on this topic, I encourage all of you listening to jot down a few problems you've solved that could be potential ebook goldmines. This is where things get really exciting. All right, so we've got our potential ebook topics swimming around, inspired by our own experiences, our own little pockets of expertise. But now comes the part that some people might find, well, a little daunting, the actual writing. Staring at a blank page, the blinking cursor.
Yeah, it can definitely feel intimidating.
Right. But the good news is this source reassures us that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be this big, scary, formal writing process.
Definitely not. They actually recommend a really cool and approachable method called brain dumping using voice notes.
Oh, I've heard of that. So instead of trying to write perfectly crafted sentences right off the bat, you just let your thoughts flow out naturally like you're having a conversation.
Exactly. Imagine yourself chatting with a friend about your area of expertise, sharing your knowledge in a casual, conversational way. You're not worried about grammar or structure at this point, just getting the essence of what you know out there.
That's such a great way to overcome that initial hurdle of starting, that fear of the blank page. You're not aiming for perfection. You're just capturing your raw thoughts and insights.
Precisely. And here's where things get even more interesting. The source introduces the idea of incorporating AI into the process.
AI, like artificial intelligence. Tell me more.
Yeah. Think ChatGPT, that free and accessible tool everyone's talking about. They suggest using it to transform those raw voice notes, those brain dumps, into organized chapters.
Wow, that's pretty slick. So you're basically using AI as a tool to help structure your thoughts, to take those spoken words and turn them into a more readable format.
Exactly. But don't worry, it's not about letting the AI write the entire ebook for you. That's where your initial voice notes are crucial.
Right, because we don't want the ebook to sound robotic or impersonal. We want to keep that human touch, that unique voice.
Absolutely. Your voice notes act as the foundation, ensuring your unique style and personality shine through. The AI is more like an assistant, helping to organize your thoughts, not a ghostwriter taking over.
So it's like having a super efficient editor who's available 24/7. This source really emphasizes that the heart of your ebook is your unique voice and knowledge.
Totally. They even mention that focusing on quality over quantity is key. Don't get hung up on hitting a certain page count or trying to sound overly academic. It's more important to provide valuable, concise information that genuinely helps your readers.
It's about creating something you're truly proud of, something authentic and engaging that delivers on its promise to the reader. And speaking of presentation, the source also dives into the visual aspect of ebooks, which is something I'm always interested in. Let's talk about covers, because we all know how important first impressions are, right?
Absolutely. Think of your ebook cover as the first thing that grabs a potential reader's attention. A well-designed cover can make all the difference in a crowded marketplace.
It's like the virtual storefront for your ebook. It needs to be eye-catching and enticing.
Exactly. And you don't necessarily need to hire a professional designer to create an amazing cover. The source actually recommends using tools like Canva, which has a free version.
Canva is great. I've used it for various projects. It's so user-friendly and has tons of templates and design elements to get you started.
It's a game changer, especially for those of us who aren't design gurus. But even if you're using a tool like Canva, they emphasize that you don't want to just slap something together haphazardly. The key is to create a cover that's visually appealing and accurately reflects the content of your ebook.
And when you're thinking about design, it's crucial to keep your ideal reader in mind. What kind of imagery or colors would resonate with them? What would make them stop scrolling and say, hey, this looks interesting, I want to check this out?
Exactly. Your cover should pique their interest, spark their curiosity, and make them want to learn more. It's all about that initial attraction.
It sounds like there's a lot to consider when it comes to designing an ebook cover. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about where you can actually sell your ebook once it's ready for prime time. The source breaks down some different options, like having your own website versus using marketplaces.
And this is where choosing the right platform for your goals comes in. Having your own website gives you complete control over pricing, branding, and how you present your ebook to the world.
You're your own boss. You set the rules, you design the experience.
Exactly. But as the source points out, marketplaces like Etsy or Amazon come with a massive built-in audience, which is a huge advantage, especially if you're just starting out.
That's true. It's like the difference between having a brick-and-mortar store versus setting up shop at a bustling flea market.
That's a great analogy. With your own website, you have more control over the environment, but you also have to work harder to attract customers. With marketplaces, you get the benefit of their existing traffic and brand recognition, but you also have to play by their rules.
It's like weighing the pros and cons of a boutique shop versus a bustling marketplace. You have to decide what aligns best with your own comfort level and objectives. What are you prioritizing, control or reach?
Exactly. It's a trade-off. Do you prioritize having full creative freedom and setting your own prices? Or are you more focused on reaching a wider audience, even if it means adhering to certain platform guidelines and potentially paying fees?
It's a tough decision.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it comes down to what feels right for you and your ebook.
Right.
But let's be real for a sec. Creating the ebook, that's just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. The journey doesn't end there.
This source doesn't shy away from the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Marketing. You got to get your ebook out into the world, make sure it's reaching the right readers.
Absolutely. It's like baking an amazing cake. You can't just leave it in the oven. Got to share it with the world.
Perfect analogy. So how do we do that? How do we make sure people actually find and buy our ebook?
Well, the source really stresses understanding your target audience. They even say, you need to ask yourself, where do these people hang out online? What are they reading? What are they interested in?
It's like you're tailoring a message to a specific group of people.
Yeah.
Right. You wouldn't market, say, a cookbook the same way you would a thriller novel.
Exactly. Different strokes for different folks. By really understanding your audience, their preferences, their online habits, your marketing becomes way more effective. Like you're speaking directly to them.
It's like you become this mind reader knowing exactly what they're looking for.
In a way, yeah. And they even suggest exploring avenues like maybe guest blogging on websites your ideal reader frequents, or maybe running some targeted ads on social media.
Targeted ads, I've heard those can be super effective if you know what you're doing.
They can be. It's all about putting your ebook in front of the right eyeballs, the people who are actually going to be interested in what you have to offer.
It's amazing how much you can do these days to get your ebook out there.
It really is. And it all comes back to that initial research, that planning we talked about. Invest the time up front to understand your audience, choose the right platforms, the right strategies, and you set yourself up for success.
This deep dive has been incredible. We've covered so much ground, from brainstorming ebook ideas based on our own experiences to outlining, writing, designing, and even marketing. Phew.
It's a whole process, but it's totally doable.
Exactly. And what I love most about it is that it really empowers anyone with a story to share, a problem-solving skill. They can turn that knowledge into something tangible, into a potential income stream.
And who knows, you might even end up helping someone in the process, which is an amazing feeling.
So as we wrap up, here's a little something to ponder. What's one problem you've solved that could make a difference in someone else's life? Could that be your first ebook? We challenge you to spend just a few minutes brainstorming this week. You might be surprised what you come up with.
You never know where inspiration will strike.
Until next time, happy diving.